Today I'm already showing up with zero filter. That same vibe everyone who follows the channel already knows. You're sitting on one of the greatest powers a human being can have, and you're using it like it's just Friday night entertainment. Yeah, I'm talking about your sexual energy. You want money? Want freedom? Want to live that life you imagined before falling asleep? Then hear me out. Maybe you're not unlucky. Maybe you're just wasting your creative energy with zero intention. And no, this isn't some random mystical talk. There's stuff happening in your brain and your body that's way more serious than it looks. Manifestation isn't just repeating pretty phrases in the mirror. It's frequency, emotional state, internal coherence. And there's a moment where all of that aligns at maximum power. Orgasm. That's your turbo button. But, like any powerful button, you can either use it well or completely mess it up. And relax. We're going to break this down together. No paranoia, no guilt, no unnecessary woo-woo. Understand one thing. Sexual energy is not a joke. Let's start with the basics nobody explains properly. Sexual energy doesn't exist just for pleasure or reproduction. It's literally the energy that creates life. Think about it. You use this energy to create an entire human being, but you can also use it to create reality, projects, money, opportunities. In many ancient traditions, this was already talked about. Kundalini in India, Qi in China. Different names, same idea. Condensed creative energy. And here comes the part most people don't like to hear. This energy isn't infinite in a practical day-to-day sense. If you're constantly spending it without awareness, without direction, without intention, you're basically letting your fuel leak out. It's like trying to travel far with a leaking tank. Now here's the part that might slightly glitch your brain, but makes total sense when you observe your own life. When you get intimate with someone, it's not just body with body. There's emotional, hormonal, and psychological exchange happening in real time. And this isn't mystical energy in a fantasy sense. There's biological grounding here. During sex, your brain releases substances like oxytocin, which creates bonding and a sense of connection. That makes you register that person in your emotional system. There are neuroscience studies showing that sex strengthens neural connections related to emotional memory and attachment. In other words, you literally imprint on that person, and they on you. If that person isn't in a great state, you might end up absorbing that emotional state too, without even realizing it. It's like downloading a file without antivirus. Sometimes extra stuff comes with it that you didn't even ask for. And then you start feeling off, unmotivated, stuck, and you don't even know why. That's why choosing a partner isn't just emotional, it's energetic, psychological, and even strategic for your life. But hey, breathe. You don't need another person to use this power. You alone are already enough. There's just one very, very important detail. If you're using pornography as a crutch, you completely lose the focus of intention. Your brain goes into passive, reactive, distracted mode. And manifestation requires presence. You're not creating, you're consuming stimulation. And honestly, that kind of stimulation does more harm than good, but that's a whole video on its own. Comment down below if you want that. Remember when people talk about the theta state? That moment before sleep where your mind relaxes and your subconscious opens up? Well, orgasm is that, but in turbo mode plus maximum emotion. During climax, your prefrontal cortex, the logical, critical part that doubts everything, reduces activity, meaning your internal skeptical lawyer takes a break. And what's left? Sensation, emotion, acceptance. That's gold for manifestation, because what blocks most people isn't lack of technique, it's too much doubt. And since doubt is the problem, during orgasm you're not questioning anything, you're feeling, and your subconscious learns way more from what you feel than from what you say. Now here comes the scientific part that makes this even more interesting. During orgasm, your brain releases a powerful combo. Dopamine leads to reward feeling, oxytocin leads to connection and trust, endorphins lead to pleasure and well-being, prolactin leads to relaxation and satisfaction. A study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine showed that orgasm activates brain areas linked to pleasure, motivation, and emotional learning, which means your brain is registering that moment as something extremely valuable and desirable. Now connect that with manifestation. If you associate that peak of pleasure with a mental image, your desire fulfilled, you're basically teaching your brain, this is real, this is good, this is mine. That's deep emotional conditioning. Now let's get to the part you've probably been waiting for. No complications, no crazy rituals, just well-directed intention, preparation, focused intention. No going on autopilot. Before anything, you need to choose. What do you actually want? Not an endless list. Not, I want everything. Pick one thing. Specific money, a project, an opportunity. And here's the secret. Don't think about the lack. Think as if it's already real. Feel the relief, the joy, the peace. Like, damn, it finally happened. The climax, injecting the command. As arousal builds, you keep that image alive. No need to force it. Just let it be there, like a movie playing. And then comes the key moment. At the exact instant of orgasm, you feel the pleasure of it already being done. Nothing long, nothing complicated. It's like pressing confirm. Post-orgasm, the gratitude seal. This is where most people lose the game. It ends, you grab your phone, you break the state. Don't do that. Stay there a little longer. Breathe, feel your body, and most importantly, feel gratitude. Not forced gratitude, but that light feeling of, it worked. This moment helps solidify the message in your subconscious. Sex isn't just pleasure, but it also doesn't have to become something heavy and rule-filled. The idea here isn't to limit you, it's to make you conscious, because when you understand what's happening, you stop living on autopilot. And always remember this, you attract what you are. If you use this moment to reinforce scarcity, distraction, or emptiness, that's what comes back. But if you use it to feel abundance, presence, and intention, you start aligning your reality with that. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. Now tell me in the comments, what's the first thing you're going to consciously feel? Vibrate in pleasure, vibrate high. And I'll see you in the next video.